Thank you. Again, my name is Robert Boxberger. I'm the president at Finsphere, and this is Jeff Brennan, who is our chief privacy officer. Finsphere was founded in 2007, and since that time, we have raised over $30 million in VC funding, and we have been awarded several patents for our authentication solutions. And recently, we're very proud to announce that we have partnered with Vodafone to help them monetize their customer data. Finsphere has developed fraud prevention solutions for e-commerce, financial, and consumer applications using your mobile phone as a proxy for your identity. Your mobile phone is everywhere. It's always with you. We capitalize on that fact to secure online transactions as well as integrate it into banks' operating functions. The first product that we would like to demo is our cardholder authentication product that is currently being utilized by banks in the US and the UK. In today's environment, what a bank has to do is they look at a transaction, they know where the transaction is, so they know that your credit card is being utilized at Harrods in London. What they don't know is if you are actually there. What we do from a bank's perspective is instead of the bank having to decline the transaction, or instead of the bank having to call you up and try to verify it, we authenticate that transaction at the point of sale.
So this is just a simple verification of the proximity check of a fictitious transaction to a real mobile phone here in London. You can see it's just simply authenticating the location and returning where both the transaction as well as the mobile phone is.
And what we determined is that location is powerful, but it's not powerful enough. So what we did was we actually built a neural model, a form of artificial intelligence, that utilizes over 60 different variables, both from the carrier and the financial institution, some of these that you could see here, to actually model and calculate the probability that you are where your card is being utilized. You can see here, this is what the bank sees. So this particular transaction scored 850. What we've done is we've recalibrated that score and say, bank, you think it's an 850. In this case, you may decline the transaction or you may call the customer. In actuality, it's a 358, which is very, very low risk. Coincidentally, last night I was awoken at 11:30 at night. I flew in from California, and my credit card was declined. So I had to go down in my jeans and t-shirt and talk to the folks, and I called the bank and they said, yeah, listen, we think it's fraud because your transaction was being utilized in the UK and somebody downloaded something from iTunes. So my son was downloading rap music probably, and I was getting declined in London. Coincidentally, it won't be my bank on Monday, and if they would have utilized our process, they would have known that my phone was at the Hilton with my card, and I wouldn't have to walk down in my underwear. The next product that we're going to demo is our online banking solution, as well as our e-commerce solution. Currently, banks and e-commerce merchants look at two different variables. They look at your home address and they look at the geolocation of your IP address. What we have done is we've incorporated that third variable. So we actually triangulate based off of location, home address, and IP address in order to secure that transaction.
So I'm going to do a simple transfer of funds from an account to another account, stick in an amount, submit. And you can see that actually this transaction was denied. And we'll take a look in the background to see what is actually flowing in the background. You can see that two things happened. One, the SIM card actually has been changed in this card, so that's a potential fraud, as well as we have a proximity indicator. So you've got a SIM card change here and another indicator of additional fraudulent indicator of the phone and the IP address being in very disparate locations.
Great. The last product that we are going to demo is our direct-to-consumer product. Identity theft is a big deal. A lot of companies are making a lot of money off of identity theft products. In the United States, it's a $4 billion a year industry. 11% of people in the US buy identity theft insurance. It's about 5% in the UK. What this does is it puts the power of fraud prevention into the hands of the customer. Instead of having a customer needing to wait 30 to 45 days to get their statement and then trying to remember what they did 45 days ago, if a customer transacts at a location without their cell phone in close proximity, we will alert them, help them fight fraud, work with them in the bank to make sure it's taken care of.
So this one is actually set up for my American Express card. You can add multiple cards onto it so you get all your transactions, not just ones that may be potential fraud, into one location. You can indicate whether you want to get text message alerts or email alerts or both. And then here's just an example of what my personal dashboard would look like with my transactions. And I can actually click on the ones that I want to mark as potential fraud or just leave them alone. I can check this as often as I want or as infrequent as I want.
Finsphere monetizes carrier data and protects consumers, financial institutions, and e-commerce merchants from fraud without having to have the customer do anything. No key fobs, no passwords, and no biometrics, just the power of their mobile phone. Thank you.